know what is what.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is Cult of the Living Dead.
Was El Mariachi I mean, I guess we'll get into it, but
Is that called classic?
yeah.
Yeah, and look up.
Yeah.
It's on a lot of lists.
Mm.
How
'Cause
many
it did
people do you-
well.
It did well for its production. Like, it made $2 million on a $7,000 production cost. That's really good, but $2 million at the box office is virtually nothing. Should we start getting into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Yeah, let's
Start it up.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Cult of the Living Dead. This week, we are covering Robert Rodriguez's first film, El Mariachi. I am your host, The Dale, followed by my two co-hosts, Mr. Saya
Yo.
and Twan.
what up?
Just a reminder for our first listeners, Cult of the Living Dead, we are a movie podcast. We cover B movies, cult classics, and horror. We usually stay away from big budget Hollywood blockbusters. Try to keep it lighthearted and fun. None of us are academically trained in cinema, but we are all cinema lovers. So please have a listen and enjoy the ride. All right, so let's get started. So, El Mariachi, what'd you guys think? First impressions. What did you know about the movie coming in? I was surprised in watching this. I guess I'll get started because I didn't realize this and was excited to say it. So I thought I'd seen this movie before. I realized I hadn't. I've seen I think the first 10 minutes before, but watching it, I was just like, I don't remember any of this. Because I've seen Desperado, the sequel, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the third movie in the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized I never finished El Mariachi. And I remember it started coming to me I was like, oh, I remember as a kid seeing the beginning. And I was like, this movie is so low budget and different from Desperado. That's my little child brain was like, I don't like this. So I stopped watching. But I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was gonna be like a cool, crazy shoot 'em up movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's exactly what it was. But I was watching it. I thought it was an enjoyable watch, and going into it, I like Robert Rodriguez. I think I've seen most of his movies, so I had high expectations for this one, which is pretty rare because a lot of these movies I've never heard of. So I try to keep the expectations middling, but this one I went to kind of excited. What about you, Twan?
I had never heard of this movie. I have never seen El Mariachi. I never seen Desperado. Never seen Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I know Robert Rodriguez. I like Dusk Till Dawn. What else did he do? Planet Terror, Sin City. Did he do?
Spy
He did
Kids?
Sin City, right? Spy Kids.
Yeah, he did Sin City.
Yeah, I mean, I like him as a director, so it was cool going into it, knowing that this was his first ever movie. I was like, all right, this is gonna be pretty cool. It felt like a YouTube video, like when YouTube first came out and the type of videos that people were posting. That's what it reminded me of.
Very student film.
Yeah, I mean, we just covered Eraserhead, and that was a student film, but this
Opposite spectrum.
felt yeah, this felt like he only had $7,000 to film this. But it was cool. I mean, I not knowing anything about it and watching the trailer is in English. It has English English intro. I didn't realize that this movie was all in Spanish. So that
I forgot about that.
Caught me off guard.
Because both the sequels are in English.
Hmm.
So I forgot this was in Spanish too. I was like, this is a Spanish film? What the fuck? But yeah. What about you, Sarah?
I had seen this movie before when I was younger, and I've seen all the I've seen all the trilogy. So
The Mexico trilogy is what it's referred to as.
I've always enjoyed these movies, and it had been a while since I had seen El Mariachi. So watching it again was pretty interesting because I thought it at different points in time. When you play Or you remember having this like favorite video game from when you were a kid, and then
Mhm.
you go back and you play it, and the controls are like really clunky and like kind of like slow and janky.
Yep.
That's how I felt rewatching this movie. But I still enjoyed it. Like the nostalgia was great, but it definitely reminded me of that. Like there's specific scenes where the action is a little clunky and like janky, but it's still really enjoyable.
Yeah, I definitely get that, which is pretty interesting, right? Um, because like this movie is kind of wild, but I guess I'll probably bring it up multiple times throughout the pod because I'm more familiar with like Desperado. Like the bombastic action in that movie is like like a Schwarzenegger film esque like action packed fiesta, and I kind of expected that going into this, and I thought. I mean, there was action, but I thought it was a little bit more toned down in this one than I expected. Like in my head, I thought this movie is gonna be like balls to the wall, and
Yeah.
it wasn't. It actually like told the story, which I wasn't expecting, and I guess that's probably why it got such good ratings. Which I mean, we cover at the end,
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought it was a fun ride.
Yeah,
But
there's definitely some foundational Robert Rodriguez like scenes in there though, like like the gore is in there, the action is in there, like the random romance and kind of it always feels like a satire. Like you can always get that feeling in it, and I think that that's one of his like main things that I think happen in like all of his movies. It's feels a little bit more like satirical at specific points in time, but that's just him. You can definitely see that he was coming into his own in this movie and just kind of blew it from there.
Yeah, I mean, 23 years old. It's pretty impressive.
Yep.
You know, it's
yeah, definitely.
it was a cool flick. Um, the, do you guys know like what Foley artists are?
No, I don't know what a Foley artist is.
So a Foley artist is someone that works in like post production, and what they do is they create like the sound effects for the movie. So like they use like a wet rag on like a table to make like sloshing sounds and things like that. I tried to look up who the Foley artist was in this movie because there were some parts in this movie that were over the top ridiculous. Like it sounded like they were all wearing high heels when they were running. Um, but I couldn't find anything. I want to know.
It was
I know
Robert
who.
Rodriguez.
Oh, it was him.
So he did. So all right,
Oh, he did everything.
before we continue, I guess I got too excited and got ahead of myself. But let me do my rundown of the cast and crew. So the director Robert Rodriguez, so he wrote the movie, he edited the movie. So the music was done by Eric Guthrie, Chris Knudsen, Cecilio Rodriguez, Alvaro Rodriguez, and Mark Trujillo. So it was a big cast in the music department. So a lot of the editing was done by Rodriguez. Oh, he was also the cameraman, so he was also the cinematographer. So he did everything.
That's cool.
Because like we mentioned, this movie was made on a budget of $7,000. So he did all that stuff, and then the actors would also help in doing like holding up like the cards so you could read your lines, stuff like that. Like this movie was a group effort for sure. Definitely a project. If you go back to your school days and everyone has their part to play. So it stars Carlos Gallardo as El Mariachi. He was also in Desperado. He has a little role as Campa. He's one of the the two mariachis that show up to help Antonio Banderas' character at the end. He's also in Planet Terror, where he plays the sheriff. We have Bigatón, who's played by Jaime de Hoyos. Mauricio, better known as Moco, which means booger in Spanish. I thought that was pretty funny. Played by Peter Marquette. Domino, played by Consuela Gomez. And Azul, played by Renault Martinez. The crazy thing about these three characters, Peter, Consuelo, and Renault, have only been in this movie and then in a flashback scene for Desperado. So they didn't go on to become actors. They just were just in this movie, which I thought was pretty crazy because I thought they did a pretty good job for people who were like not trained actors at all.
Yeah?
Gallardo has done other stuff. He starred in other roles that I forgot the name of, but he's the only one that became an actor. But this was his first movie, also.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, but like you said, they did a pretty good job. Moco was a believable antagonist.
Yeah, that's a good bad guy.
You know, the all white, the Weddle, as you know, the Mexican culture would call, just some white dude with colored eyes, Hispanic. Um, that's funny that they never continued in anything else though.
Yeah, I liked Moco as a villain. Moco was really cool. And also Azul, like coming through, just being the mariachi, but not mariachi at the same time. That was pretty dope. All of
Dude,
them like did really good within their roles.
Azul, I don't know if you guys caught this. I don't know if we're gonna just jump right into the first scene, but like he looks so different in the first scene than he does in the rest of the movie. I don't know if you guys caught that,
I
or like
didn't.
if you noticed, or I don't know, because in when he was in the jail, he didn't look as badass as he did when he got out. I don't know if it was just the vest. The addition of the vest
I
just
think it
completely
was just the
changed his
vest.
He
look.
didn't. He
Yeah,
didn't have the
yeah,
best in the first scene, and he
yeah,
was seated down for most of it.
yeah.
All right. Well, since they're talking about the jail scene, let's get started. So the movie takes place. Well, it starts in Jimenez, Coahuila, Mexico, and we're met with I don't know if he's an antagonist. I don't know what you would classify Azulin as, because he's not necessarily a bad guy in the movie, but he's not like a good guy either.
Anti-hero.
Yeah, I guess he's an anti-hero. One thing I wrote though, which I thought was
Deadpool.
Yeah,
interesting,
yeah.
which kind of sucks about watching older movies, especially low budget older movies on like a newer screen. Holy fuck, was this a grainy ass movie?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it
um,
was.
for those of you who don't know, like like film when put on like a modern 4K display, because 4K is so good at showing you the pixels, you really see the grains. It's not the same
Yeah.
as like watching it on like a projector screen. So that I was like, damn, I haven't seen a grainy ass movie like this in a minute.
It
But
definitely adds to
But
the whole like
no, it does.
grindhouse movie, you know, that Robert Rodriguez style. It's funny how
yeah,
he kind of kept that throughout, like, you know, the rest
Yeah,
of his movies.
yeah, it's definitely like
it,
an
it,
artistic choice now.
it's interesting that coming straight from Eraserhead over to this, like Eraserhead is older, but it looks really nice. Like the quality of it looks really, really nice. And then compare that to Robert Rodriguez's film, where it's newer in relative terms to that, but it definitely has that like grindhouse. Like I feel like he also made it look like that on purpose. So
Yeah.
it just gives it like an older feel.
But I think because this movie, I mean, I was saying it for my interesting facts, but I guess it was filmed on like 17 millimeter film and then converted to 16 millimeter later on. So I wonder if that had something to do with it. Like their
Hmm.
budget was so small, they didn't use like the standard like type of film while making the movie, because it would have been too expensive to do 16 millimeter.
Hmm.
I mean, it's crazy how far we've come. Now I'm pretty sure, you know, well, there's already a couple movies that have been filmed with just iPhones.
Yeah, I mean, well, like iPhones, like the megapixels on the cameras are crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I remember when I had a digital camera that was like 4 megapixels. It was like, damn, this camera is badass. It's like an iPhone's like 48 or something like that. It's like wild.
Yeah.
But we digress. All right, so the movie it kicks off, right. We get met with Azul. He's in prison. He gets a phone. He's doing like business. You can see him like he's calling people. I think he's a drug dealer. He's selling stuff. He's got his little briefcase, cell phone, and he gets a call from Moco. And we get introduced to our protagonist. And Moco is talking to Azul.
Antagonist.
Antagonist, sorry. And Moco's talking to Azul. He's basically telling him, like, hey, I heard you're doing pretty well for yourself, you know, in prison. And Azul's like, yeah, I'm doing all right, but not as good as I was doing out. And as much as good as I was doing when I was working with you, you know, you fucking asshole, like you owe me money. And Moco's like, yeah, I do owe you money. He's like, don't worry about it. We're gonna settle up on that real soon. I'm gonna make sure you get taken care of when you get out. So Azul's like, oh, all right, cool. Like, no worries. Like, all right, like you pay me, like we're good, kind of. Like Azul's like not really tripping on it too hard, which I thought was interesting because I expected him to like immediately be because he looks pretty like a tough guy. You know, he's pretty built. He's got like the mean scowl face. Kind of looks like a Danny Trejo without like the scar. But then so Azul's like, all right, whatever. And then you see like a bunch of trucks roll up. And it's Moco sends his men and he's going to take care of Azul that way. So he's not gonna pay him, but he's gonna kill him. And we find out that Azul, he finds out, he's like, oh shit, these guys are here to kill me. All right. And that whole prison, like all the other prisoners that were in there were Azul's men. So like when Moco's goes to kill him, they all like wake up and bust out all these guns. And there's a pretty cool like a shootout. It happens and Azul takes out Moco's guys. And then that's kind of how the movie starts, where Azul tells Moco, he's like, oh, I got your guys have something to say to you. And then he just lights them all up in the jail cell. And then that's when we know, like, all right, Azul's on the killing path. And is that where his henchman drives up and gives him the guitar case? And you open the guitar case and you see it has a bunch of like knives and guns in it.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. And then Azul's out, which is funny because like he was like choosing to be in prison because he just like opened the gate.
I was gonna say that too. Like the way it's set up, it makes it seem like Azul is like actually like in prison. But then once Moco's men come over and they walk in, and then you realize that everybody in there is actually working for Azul. I thought that was a good flex. And Moco was actually choosing to be in. Like he wanted to just chill in there. Why didn't he just dip out at any point in time? Maybe he was getting protection from, maybe he knew that this was going to eventually happen. That was his best way to be protected.
Or it could be that he was in trouble and he was just like, all right, I'll serve my time. And then this dude came to kill him and he's like, oh, fuck it then. All right, I guess it's on. I guess I'll have to break out.
Yeah.
Because the warden, the female warden.
Warden?
I think she's the warden. That's what she's like classified in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like a small local jail. Yeah. I like how she gets paid by Moco's men when they go to kill Azul because she lets him in. And then she gets paid by Azul's men when he's like, all right, I guess I'm going to break out now. And
she's making double paid.
And like, I thought for sure Azul was going to be like, oh, you double crossed me and like cheat her or something. And he was like, nah, here's the money. It's all good.
Yep. I think Azul is definitely like the chaotic good in this story, even though he kills everybody, but he's only killing the people who wanted to originally kill him. It's not like he was like going around murdering indiscriminately. I mean, he was trying to just survive at this point in time.
Yeah, he just wanted his money.
Yeah. Also, Azul, Moco's men were pretty dumb. I mean, they walk into the prison with their guns not even drawn. Like they were just like walking in casually, and then they all get, of course, taken over because they're not ready to like enter into this prison. They weren't prepared. Moco's men should have been more prepared if they really wanted to do that well.
I think they kind of reminded me of like a mob movie because they all had suits on.
Yeah.
When they all kind of roll into the restaurant or whatever, and they look like casual, and then like they open their suits and they pull out their gun like at the last moment to take out the dude. I think they were like, they thought this was going to be like an easy job and didn't expect like Azul to have like his own guys and to be like prepared because like he had guns and shit too. Like he wasn't like defenseless.
I mean, how could you anticipate that some dude in jail actually used the jailhouse as his base and had guns and people and like the warden paid off? Who would have guessed that? Like, what's the purpose of having a jail as your hideout?
As your base of operations?
Yeah,
they're pretty fortified, I guess. They're made out of like concrete and steel. And jails are like, hard to get into because usually like one way in, one way out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Could have blown it up.
They didn't have.
But then I feel like if you blow up the jail, then you have like the government on your ass. And like that's never good. I mean, one thing I noticed in the scene that I thought was interesting. Did you guys notice that one of the guns was like a sawed off like rifle?
Yeah.
I wrote that. I'm like, is that a sawed off rifle? Like, what's the point of that? Aren't like rifles meant for like long range and like you taking that away?
It's made for medium to short range, bro. They were in a prison.
I guess that's true, but I guess that's true. Yeah, you're in a prison, but I was like, that a bolt action sawed off fucking rifle? I don't know. I
Like
thought
a sawed off car 98.
yeah, exactly. Like that's an interesting choice. Well, I like the opening scene. I thought it was pretty cool. It was this opening scene where I realized like I hadn't seen this movie. I'm like, what the fuck? Who's this? Who's this Azul guy? Like I don't remember him at all. And I was like, I don't think I've seen this movie.
Like it was this scene as well that made me realize that watching it as a kid and watching it as an adult are two completely different experiences, because the scene where Moco's men shoot at the bodyguard and then the bodyguard shoots back at Moco's men, I remember that happening way faster when I was a kid. And so watching it back, Robert Rodriguez's action sequences are really like kind of slow-mo style action sequences. And so it was different when I was, watching it now as an adult. I was like, wait, what? This is happening really slow. That happened way quicker, but it was still fun.
Yeah, it was this scene that made me realize that I had no idea what I was getting myself into with this movie, and that I had no idea what direction this movie was going to.
That's funny. All right, so then after Azul breaks out, he gets his guitar case, he has his guns, and he's like, all right, Moco, I'm coming for you now. And then we get the scene changes and we get introduced to our protagonist, El Mariachi. First, he's like hitchhiking, kind of walking down the road. You see him, he's doing like this monologue. He sees like this turtle crossing the road and he's talking about something like being like the turtle. Now he comes from like a long line of mariachis. His dad was a mariachi. His grandfather was a mariachi. And back in the day, it used to be like really mariachis used to play like an important role in the community. And with the new technology, like mariachis aren't that anymore. But he's rolling up to the town. He stops by this guy, gets a coconut. He's talking about how he's excited to be in this town. This town seems like it's gonna be good for him. A town that greets you with free coconuts, which is pretty funny. I guess originally like they just forgot to film him paying for it, and they couldn't afford to refilm the scene, so they just added in dialogue that he got a free coconut. So I thought that was funny because I remember when I thought that when he grabbed it and then he just leaves, I'm like, did he just steal that coconut? And then he's like, "Oh, but the town gives you free coconuts." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Like that's weird, but all right, whatever. We'll go with it." Then he goes to the bar, and this is where I think the movie starts getting pretty goofy. And he orders like a soda pop, and the guy looks at him like, a soda pop, like what the fuck? And he's like, "All right," and you see him like go to the little fridge, and he's like digging in, and he finds like the last Coke, and he gives it to him, and he's drinking. And he's trying to sell himself. He's like, hey, like you could use a mariachi. Like I guarantee if you hire me, you're going to get like way more business. Like I'm really good, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy's like, what do I need a mariachi for? And then he like points to the corner and there's like a keyboardist. He's like taking a nap and like he wakes up. He's like, play me something. And he starts playing like this goofy ass number and this like real surreal, like, I don't know. It kind of reminds you of like those old comedy movies where people are like running around and like
it's like sped up like 1.5 speed.
That's what it reminded me of. And I was just like, and that shit was funny, man. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? I don't remember this. Like this is mad goofy.
That song was a banger, bro. Brush my teeth to that song every day.
And he's like, why do I need a mariachi when I have a whole band with one guy? And I was like, dude, that guy's Garbo. Like, I don't know. I don't know what
like,
doing.
No wonder why no one's in your fucking bar.
And then the mariachi's like, all right, whatever. Like, I guess I'm not needed here. So he takes off. And when he leaves, after he leaves, then Azul comes in. Azul comes in, orders a beer, and the guy's pouring him a draft. And I thought it was funny because this becomes like his thing. And he's like, fuck, he's like, I want a beer in a bottle, you dumbass. And he's like, oh, my bad. So then he gives him like a Corona in a bottle. And he starts talking to the group of men that have been sitting in the back. And he's like, oh, I'm looking for Moco. And they're like, oh, yeah, we work for Moco. Like, we're Moco's friends. He's like, all right, cool. And he like busts out his gun. And he just murders everybody in the bar. Then he leaves, comes back, chugs his beer, puts it down, and then leaves again. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. I'm like, oh shit, Azul's like a fucking badass. This is just rolling into his spots and murdering everybody. What did you guys think of our introduction to El Mariachi?
The way the way Azul kills the men is really cool because he's talking to them, holding his guitarra case, and they're having this like back and forth, and then he tells one of the men like, hold this, and he puts the actual case on this dude's lap, opens it up, and then uses the gun to just blast everybody. And then one of Moco's men is in the bathroom, and so
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, after he kills everybody at the table, there's like a scene showing Azul standing with the gun, and like everybody's dead, and he's using a straw to like swirl the drink of the man who's inside the bathroom, and so then he picks up the drink and puts like a towel over his arm, like a waiter, and walks into the restroom. I think he has that sawed off like sniper rifle.
Yeah, he does.
And he walks into the restroom, and then you just hear the gunshots, and then he comes back out. And yeah, I thought that was really badass. Like he is definitely the mariachi at this point in time.
Yeah, that restaurant scene was funny. You can tell Robert Rodriguez's style with the corniness and the like, especially that scene that you were talking about with the one man band. But as far as our introduction to El Mariachi, it was cool. I mean, you can definitely tell he was like a romantic. He was kind of like a lover boy, and I think that plays into the movie itself. I thought he kind of gave up relatively easy as far as searching for work. Like, I don't know, if I was decent at the guitar and I saw that one man band guy pop up and play that number that he did, I would have tried to, I don't know, have a rebuttal, a music off,
off.
Yeah, dude, come on. And as we see later on in the movie, he's pretty good at being a mariachi, like, but yeah, it was funny. Initially I had thought that the movie was going to kind of center around I guess the misplacement of the cases, like there was going to be a switch, but that didn't happen. Azul just blasted everyone. It really shows how crazy this dude is and how out for revenge he is, which, I mean, it was an enjoyable scene. I thought it was funny. It was a funny introduction to, Azul as a whole, and his mission as far as getting revenge.
Yeah, I agree, and I forgot about that scene that Matt pointed out where the guy spins the drink and then like becomes the waiter. That part was funny, dude. I was just like, all right, that's cool, that was creative. Like
Yeah.
that's a cool way of taking care of someone. And then like thinking about like Robert Rodriguez's like future films, like he does like kind of goofy shit like that for like his fight scenes, like throughout his like whole career. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I think in Inglorious Bastards, because did he produce that with Tarantino?
I think so. Like, I guess we didn't mention this, but like Robert Rodriguez and like Quentin Tarantino are like close friends, and they both started their careers at the same time in 1992. This movie comes out, and in 1992, Reservoir Dogs comes out, and they'll work with each other, and they kind of like they're buddies throughout the 90s, and I think today too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he helped produce
No, not Inglorious Bastards.
Not Inglorious Bastards.
No,
I know he directed Dusk Till Dawn, and Tarantino wrote it.
Yeah.
That was their like first big collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Well, the scene where Azul grabs a drink and then puts the towel over his arm reminded me of the scene from Inglorious Bastards when the bastards are at the movie showing at the finale of the movie, and they walk into, I think it's Hitler's room, right?
And they're pretending to be like Italian.
And they're pretending to be like Italian waiters, and they like walk up with towels on their arms. I thought that was pretty funny. I liked all of that.
Doesn't he say "mi scusi"?
Yeah,
Mi scusi, and then he just
Scusi.
blasts him with the knuckle gun.
Yeah. Also, I didn't mention it, but the one man band, like when it zooms in on him and he's getting ready, he does this like finger stretch of like just getting his fucking body ready to just perform the best he's ever performed. And then as soon as he's done, he like goes back over to the corner and just sits down and takes a nap.
It took everything out of him.
He's been prepping.
That's what happens when you're a one-man band.
It's hard, bro. Hard being a one-man band.
Agreed. Got to do all the work. So then our protagonist Mariachi, he's like, all right, well, he doesn't give up too quickly because he's like, all right, I'm gonna go see if there's anywhere else I can play, but first let me go find a place to sleep. So he goes to this hotel, meets the hotel guy, and he's like, hey, I need a room. And the guy's like, oh, it costs this much. He's like, oh, I don't have money right now, but I'm about to go get some work, so I could pay you after if that's all right. And the guy's like, yeah, sure, whatever, because it's like a sleazy hotel. And then he goes, and then isn't this where the hotel guy is visited by like Bigaton? And he's like, hey, we're looking for this mariachi. He's wearing all black, carrying a guitar case. Like, if you see him, you call and you let us know. And he like writes his number on the newspaper, and the guy's like, yeah, sure, whatever. He's like, if I don't call, you're gonna kill me, right? He's like, well, we won't worry about that. You better just make sure you call. So it's like, oh, okay. So now we know the mariachi is gonna be he's gonna be like a case of like misidentity. Like the hotel worker is gonna think he's Azul. So he's like, the mariachi puts his stuff down, and he's like, all right, there's another bar across town called the Saloon. So he goes, gets his guitar. The hotel guy's like, oh yeah, I'll see you later. He takes off. He immediately calls Moco's man. Is like, hey, the guy that you're looking for, he's staying at my hotel. So he goes to the saloon, and then we get introduced to Domino. She's this beautiful girl, a beautiful woman. She owns the bar. Her and the mariachi kind of have like a little moment where he again orders a soda pop, and she makes fun of him. She's like, what are you, a child? And he's like, nah, I'm not a child. I'm a singer, and I can't drink or else it'll mess up my voice. And she's like, oh, okay. And he gets all romantic about being a singer. And she's like, hey, well, he's like, do you need like a band? Like, I could play for your place. I'll liven it up. He's like, I'm really good. I promise. And she's kind of like, oh, no, I like, that's cool and all, but like, I can't afford it. So he's like, all right, whatever. Again, that's how I think he definitely gives up like super fast because he's like, no, okay, I guess not. And he leaves, goes back to the hotel. And then he has a like crazy ass nightmare where he gets like decapitated or he sees the decapitated head.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on with that, but that head's supposed to be Robert Rodriguez, which I thought was pretty funny.
Oh, nice.
That he had it like modeled on his face. I don't understand the nightmares. Like it happens again later on, but I don't know how it
couple of times
how it like ties into the movie.
Just one of those things.
I think one thing going back about the story, after he leaves that first bar, he goes over to the second bar to meet Domino, and then on the in between, Moco's man goes over to the hotel, informs the hotel worker that there's a mariachi walking around, and then he leaves, goes to Domino's place, and the mariachi leaves Domino's place, goes back to the hotel and checks in, and then he goes to sleep. But while he's like checking in, that was where the hotel worker calls Moco's men to like inform him that he's there.
No, he checks in first, then goes to Domino's. Because when he comes back, the hotel worker is like, hey, you need to give me like a down payment because he knows this dude's got to be murdered. So he wants to get some money for him before he gets killed.
I thought it happens all in that one scene where he checks in, he asks for a room, tells him he doesn't have money. And then he like turns, and when he turns, he sees that he's holding a guitar case. And then he's like, oh, damn, I need to get like a down payment from this dude because he's about to get murked.
I don't remember.
Okay.
No, it's not super relevant, but
yeah, not bad.
Yeah. And we also get to see another one of Robert Rodriguez's like quirky scenes, like to dramatize how fast he was grabbing the phone once he saw the guitar case.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That
was funny. In like lightning calls.
Yeah.
And then I think the dreams play a relevant piece of telling who the mariachi actually is. Because we see, I mean, it builds up, and I don't want to like say it right now, but like I think the dreams have some type of purpose, and I think it's telling his backstory of like why we see the mariachi walking around out, like in the beginning of the movie. He's walking somewhere. I think he's walking from somewhere. And so the story has some type of like relevance. And I don't think it's like fully explained in this moment. But I think the scene immediately after kind of like shows who the mariachi is in some type of way.
Yeah, so let's get into that. So then he checks in, the guys get called. The nightmare like wakes him up, luckily, so he's able to like he like opens his door and he like looks and he sees like Bigaton talking to the hotel clerk or hotel owner, and he's like, oh, he's upstairs. And then he's like, no, you dumbasses, he's in room, was it like 11 or something? And the guy like the mariachi like turns around and looks at his door and he's like, oh shit, that's me. So he like throws his guitar case and like I like how he throws his guitar case and then like leaps onto the building and then uses his guitar the morning star that he took from the hotel room, and he like zip lines like out of there. I was like, oh, okay. He's like just like all crazy. He zip lines out and then he runs into Moco's men and they start chasing him down the street trying to kill him. And I like the scene where he like runs onto the truck and then like slides down and like perfectly dodges. So the guys shoot each other. I was like, that's dumb. That would never happen.
Yeah, he became a superhero in that scene. He channeled his inner Dom Toretto. Fucking dude splitting those two guys, just running up that truck as fast as the flash. Like, how dumb were those guys to just end up blasting each other?
And then the mariachi just like immediately becomes like all bomby, like picks it up an Uzi and just starts like blast the other dude like quick draw status, and then beats the fuck out of Bigaton with his guitar case. Like he immediately just is like, oh, all right, I guess I gotta like turn it on, and becomes like this like mad superhero.
I think that's why you had that nightmare sequence before. I think he comes from this town where his town was like slaughtered and he had to like do some crazy shit to survive. And so I think he's always been really bomb.
That sounds like some crazy headcanon.
And what can you explain that nightmare to me in any other way that makes it make sense?
No, but I'm sure there's some like PhD cinephile out there who could tell me why it's there.
Right.
But I don't.
Yeah.
What about how come Moco just didn't describe Azul as like a darker complected fucking big dude with a mustache? Like,
dude,
the way he's Moco, man, he's a fucking like, booger.
They look nothing alike. The only similarities that they have is the fact that they have a good guitar case.
And then I know Domino, not Domino, Mariachi, when he's talking to Domino, he's like, why does he go by Azul if he doesn't wear blue? He's wearing a blue shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing a blue shirt.
Like you could easily be like, oh, he's Azul. He's wearing a blue shirt, carrying a guitar case, and he has like he's dark.
He's dark with the stash.
He's the only guy that looks like him in the entire fucking movie.
Right, yeah, with his little fro.
Moco's kind of and then because he's dressed in all black. Like, no, he's not. He's wearing jeans, a blue shirt, and a black vest. He's not even remotely close to being dressed in all black. I don't know. I thought that too. I'm like, man, if Moco just gave like an accurate description of what this dude looks like this all could have been avoided.
Yeah, then we wouldn't have a movie, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's true. So then after the shootout, El Mariachi fucking he runs away and he's like, first instinct is like, well, I'm gonna go back to the saloon. So he goes back to the saloon and he like kind of convinces Domino to let him stay there, right?
Yeah.
Is this the part where he tells her like, oh, I just got in a shootout and I killed like 3 men or something like that? Or I killed 4 men.
Killed 4 men. Yeah.
And she's like, what? And she's like immediately gonna call the cops. She's like, no, it was in self-defense. And she's like, well, if it was in self-defense, I guess it's all right. And she like hangs up and she's like, all right, fine. He's like, I just need a place to stay till this all blows over. They think I'm some other guy. I like how the mariachi immediately understands. He's like, they're looking for somebody, but it ain't me. Like, I don't know who they're looking for, but I got caught up in some shit. Like, I just need to lay low. And she's
because he kind of mentioned like, oh, they didn't even bother to ask who I was. They just started shooting. It's like that's how he knew that they were after someone, like they were trying to get someone.
That's right.
There's a
That's right.
mistaken identity because they didn't even give him a chance to like defend him or like, say his piece, I guess.
That's
They're
right.
just on site.
And he's like, I don't have any money, so like they were just there to kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then he stays with her. I thought it was funny. She's like, all right, don't touch any of my stuff and watch out for my pit bull. And her pit bull's all like lazy. This doesn't do anything.
All friendly,
Chill
all
as
super
dog.
chill. Yeah. This was another scene of this apartment is way bomber than yours will ever be. Because it's
Dude,
like
that place is so nice.
Yeah, like she's like, oh, you can stay in my place. It's like right above the bar. And I don't know, instinctively I think of like
My humble abode.
yeah, like a small apartment above a bar, like here. And then you see the apartment and it's just fucking humongous. The living room is like bigger than basically my whole apartment.
And it fucking has like a bathtub in the middle of the room.
A standing bathtub, all
It's
bomb.
like all nice. I like how she's like, don't touch anything. And this fool immediately just takes a bath.
Oh man.
Like,
what are you gonna? Are you gonna pass up a bath, bro? He's not touching anything else. He's just taking a bath.
Who knows how long he's been on the road too? Who knows when's the last time he had a bath?
I mean, I guess that's true. And like he just did go through like a pretty heart pumping experience. So he probably wants to like cool down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was pretty funny.
Did you guys catch so I feel like they made it a point to show the like the coat of arms not only in the hotel room but also in her
apartment.
In her apartment. Yeah, the shield and the flail, like that. I thought maybe he was going to use that as a weapon at some point in time, but
yeah, so did I. I made a note of it, and then it doesn't really become anything. Like he never even hits anybody with the Morning Star, not once.
Yeah, just there for vibes,
I guess.
Just to show it, everyone in that town has one.
It would have been cool if like Moco had one at his compound to like signify like these are all Moco spots.
Oh yeah,
but I didn't see one there. At least I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for it either. I didn't see it there. It wasn't made prominent in any scene. If it was there, it might have been in the background.
Is this where she goes upstairs and he's taking a bath and she puts like a knife to his balls?
Yeah, she puts a knife to his throat first, and then that's after Moco's men. What's his name?
Bigaton. That's right. Bigaton goes and visits her.
Yeah, Bigaton goes over. He calls Moco. And she overhears Bigoton telling Moco that the mariachi killed like another like 4 people and he's super dangerous and they got to find him. And so then Domino goes upstairs, or Bigoton leaves. Domino goes upstairs and then she holds a knife to Mariachi's neck because she thinks that he's legit this like stone cold killer who's now killed like what 10 people.
It was 10 in total. Yeah, and then
but Mariachi only killed 3. No,
Mariachi killed 4.
It's 9 in total. No, he thinks he killed 4 because he thinks he killed Bigaton, but he didn't. He just knocked him out.
Yeah.
Because Bigaton, he hits with his guitar case. He doesn't shoot him.
And Azul killed 6 in the beginning.
Yeah, because it was the 2 guys in the truck that killed themselves, and then he also gunned down 2 guys, right? And then he hit Bigaton with his case. So that's 4.
I think you might be right. Yeah,
that's 4. Because then that phone call between Azul and Moco,
that was
a little
funny.
later. Yeah, that was a little funny when they're kind of arguing about how many people.
Yeah, about the numbers.
Yeah.
Before we move on to that, go ahead.
We also didn't talk about Moco, and whenever we like you get introduced to Moco in the very beginning and like the opening. And it starts off with like a foot scene, classic Tarantino, of this like chick who jumps into a pool and then she's swimming and she comes out of the pool and that's Moco's house. And then every other time you see Moco, he's like this girl is always around him, basically taking care of him, and he's always staring off into the distance with this like 1,000-yard like battle torn stare. He's definitely he plays up his villain piece like so much. And so when Bigaton calls him from Domino's bar, he has this like 1,000-yard stare, and I think like
Is that when the
the-
chick's like filing his nails?
yeah, she's like trying to file his nails, and he's getting his nails filed, but he's also talking on the phone too, and he's just all pissed the whole time. Yeah, fucking
That was-
Moco.
Yeah, Moco does a good job, dude. I
Yeah.
like him as a villain.
Yeah,
Like he's real like menacing, and he's got that like self-assuredness of like, oh, okay, like, well, we're gonna like, I'm gonna just like take care of shit. Yeah, I liked him as a villain for sure. And then that's that classic villain trope. He has like this hot like model chick who's just like his like personal servant, and she's like half naked the whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think she's constantly in a bathing suit.
she is. In that opening scene, she just jumped into the pool just to jump into the pool, and she got out immediately and started drying off.
Yeah, I didn't even
That was-
swim.
That was odd. I don't know.
You don't do
Me
that?
personally,
You don't just jump into
if I
pools?
dive into a pool, I'm gonna stay in that motherfucker for a little bit.
I know. I know people with pools, and they tell me that after like a hard day's work, they'll just dive into the pool real quick because it like instantly cools off your body, and then they'll get out and like take a shower.
Well, that makes sense, but I mean,
Yeah, she ain't doing
she,
shit.
she ain't doing anything.
He's like
She just-
filing nails, like sucking his dick.
Well, she's got to deal with Moco. He's a villain.
Well,
he's not a good guy.
You
I
Definitely
are,
guess
not a good
that's
guy.
true. I guess
You
that's true.
always have the risk of death with Moco.
yeah.
I
And you
guess.
mentioned the foot scene. Does that mean both Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino are foot boys?
I don't know because I wrote this down in my notes for this scene. With between Domino and the mariachi when he's taking
Yeah.
a bath, I put she's all bomb with her feet.
I wrote that too.
I forgot what she did though.
So she's holding a knife to Mariachi's neck in the bathtub, and she's like, "What do you have in your guitar case?" And he's like,
Oh, that's
I got a
right.
fucking
She,
guitar."
like, pulls
And
it
she's like,
opens
"Let me
it.
check it." And so she
Yeah.
pulls it over with her goddamn feet, unlocks it, opens it up completely with her feet, just like a pure foot scene that you just watch her do.
She's skilled, and people deny that we evolved from apes.
Maybe that's why they became such close buddies.
Maybe
They bonded over feet.
Quentin Tarantino saw that and he's like, "Oh my god, this man's a genius." Because I don't think there's a lot of feet in Reservoir Dogs.
No,
I don't
no,
think there's any
it's just a bunch of dudes. I don't think there's even any women in that movie.
Just a bunch of guys being
the
dudes. Yeah,
sausage fest.
I think
Yeah.
it's just the
Just
the
men.
waitress.
Oh yeah, in the very beginning,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
they don't even tip her. No, they do tip her.
No, Mr. Pink is the
Mr.
only
Pink
one.
doesn't. Yeah,
Well, he
He
does
gets-
at the end, but
He gets forced. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, and then that kind of it kind of wraps up with, I guess Domino's like, okay, I can trust the mariachi, and they have like a couple like cute moments, like they start
sings-
flirting.
He sings to her. You hear him sing for the first time.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does sing for her because she's like, "Play for me," and he's like, what do you want me to play?" And he just makes up a song about her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
an
she's
original.
holding a knife to his balls, and he's running the risk of death or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Dude, skilled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's pretty
skilled.
good.
Yeah. His family has been mariachis for generations.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then we get to the scene Twan touched on where Moco gets a phone call and he wakes up. It's another one of those like Moco's a bad guy because he's like in bed with like 3 women.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and he answers the call, and then him and I mean not Moco, Azul's in bed with 3 women. And they start arguing about how many men he's killed.
Yeah.
He's like, "You've killed 10 on my man." He's like, 6. He's like, "You killed 10." He's like, "No, I only killed 6." like he's like
It's like, why are you giving me more credit?
he's like that's how you know Moco's Azul's a good guy. He's like, I just want what's mine, dude. I'm not looking out for anything more. I'm not greedy.
Yeah.
He's like, I only killed 6 dudes. Don't worry, I'll kill 10. We'll get there. We're gonna get to 10, but I'm only at 6 right now. And that shit was hilarious.
So
And
like before that, when the phone's ringing, it takes 3 women to get the phone over to Azul finally. Like one woman
Oh,
picks it
yeah.
up, hands it to another woman, that woman hands it to another woman, and then Azul finally gets it from that third woman.
And if all of Azul's fucking men are like teenagers, there's just like a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah.
You notice that? Like, dude, why
Those-
Yeah.
The kids. Yeah.
like some kids are real young. It's a tough town.
Those are just bodyguards.
Yeah, there's bodyguards. And then
Damn.
they try to like take a peek in on the chicks when Azul leaves, and they all bust out the guns on him. I thought that was pretty funny. I feel like that's another classic like Rodriguez ism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little goofy scenes he mixes in are pretty good. So then after that little argument, El Mariachi gets a gig, right? He works it out with Domino. He's like, all right, I'll play for you rent free, and whatever I get in tips is basically like what I get. Just let me stay here until this all blows over, and I'll be your like mariachi. He has his first gig, and Domino's place is popping, dude. There's a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
Plays his first gig.
Well, that I know we didn't really talk about it, but that whole design of the building was pretty cool. The
Yeah,
saloon
mhm.
itself.
It's like
That
an
was a
old
nice
style
place.
saloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess supposedly the outside was on is it Moreno Street or Marengo Street, like in that part of Mexico, and
Nice.
the inside was a different location.
Hmm.
But it
That's
it
cool.
was cool. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
this is a nice bar she's got. And the place was popping. He plays this song called Ganas en Vivar. He's a pretty good
De
singer.
vivir.
Ganas en Vivir, you're right. And then the crowd loved it.
Yeah.
And then Domino gets those like puppy eyes, and you're like,
Yep.
oh shit, she's falling for him. And then I just wrote the pit bull is always asleep. Adorable little pit bull.
He is another nightmare.
Yeah. I
He has
wrote that
another nightmare about the beheaded guy, right?
the dog's aura gives him nightmares. Because I think that was he ends up having like 2 nightmares when he wakes up right next to the dog.
That's
Yeah.
right. He's like sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that confused me because he's talking to Domino and he's like, are you sure you're okay with this? Are you sure with like me sleeping here? Like you don't want me sleeping somewhere else? So I was like, are they sharing a bed? And then it pans out. I'm like, no, he's just sleeping on the floor. Why would she be tripping on that?
Yeah.
It's a strange man in your room.
I guess that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's probably
Yeah.
what it is. So then, yeah, he crushes it, and he's like, "Oh, he is a pretty good mariachi." Him and Domino are having there's feelings there. You can see they're starting to bloom, and then he has
Yeah.
the second dream. You want to walk us through the dream, Matt?
I don't-
Well,
Take us
I
us there, bro.
all right. Get ready.
Because
Get
you're
ready.
like, oh,
So-
I can connect it, and I'm like, I don't understand the significance of the
Let's
dreams
hear
at
it.
all.
All right, here we go. So there's a boy, and he's chilling with a decapitated head,
As one does.
and then he wakes
Call
up.
back to Eraserhead too.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Oh,
Damn,
Yeah.
nightmare, little boy picking up decapitated head.
yeah. That was
Kinda
it. That was all
crazy.
I got.
And then fucking he wakes up and he's all feeling himself. He's like, yeah, it was a pretty good show. Yeah, I told you I'm pretty awesome. And then he's like, well, I gotta go get my money back from the hotel. And she's like, no, don't do that. That's dumb. Like they're looking for you. And he's like, nah, it's cool. And this is I was like, what a fucking dumbass. Like, why are you gonna go back to the hotel where the guy that guy, that guy called them and
Yeah.
he goes, he like takes his money back and he dips. He pays the guy, which is cool because I think he took more than he
Yeah,
gave him.
he like
He
Yeah.
robbed him.
almost took all. Yeah, he robbed him. He robbed him and left him with a little bit.
I mean, I guess it's fair
probably
because he did try
paid-
to get him killed.
He paid his night, but took the rest of his money.
The rest of his money. Yeah, because the guy's like, oh man, like has like a oh man face.
Yeah,
And then he immediately calls like Bigatone's men, like immediately. And then in the meantime, Azul showed up at the saloon, and the same scene happens where he asks for a beer, and the guy's gonna give him a draft beer, and he's like, "I want a bottle." I don't know why he did this. In my head, I'm like, is it like to make sure it's not poisoned, or why do you guys think that he prefers drinking out of a bottle instead of draft?
There's something about drinking beer out of a cold glass is better than
Drinking out of a glass is better. Draft beer is better than bottled beer.
I was trying to argue the other way, but then I realized what I was saying as I was saying it, and I think I prefer draft beer better than bottles.
maybe it's like a Mexico thing. They're
Maybe.
able to keep the beer cooler, like in the freezer. Then I don't know. Maybe they don't have the technology to keep taps cool.
At
I don't
Domino's
know.
bar, I think when
Go ahead.
he's pouring the draft and then Azul says no, I want a bottle. The the guy drinks it, and you see the cup, and it's like a frosted glass.
Yeah, they chill the glasses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like draft beer is made differently than bottled beer. So draft beer you have to keep cold all the time, or else it goes bad.
Hmm.
Bottled
Hmm.
beer has extra additives in it, so it prevents that from happening
Yeah.
because it's made for transport or whatever.
Maybe
Maybe
he
he
just
just
really
also-
likes bottles.
And he only takes like a drink or two. He never finishes the beer.
He
He
finished
finished it in the
He
first
finished
bar.
it at the bar. Yeah, he chugged the whole thing after he killed all
Mm.
those dudes. But I forgot to mention this. Before he leaves to go get his money back, he stashes his guitar under the bar stool because Domino's like, "Don't go out there, they're looking for you." And he's like, "Nah, they're just looking for a guy with a guitar." So he leaves his guitar, leaves, and then Azul comes and he puts his guitar down and they swap. And then I thought was a pretty cool scene where you see was it El Mariachi or it was El Mariachi, right? Where he's being chased by Bigatone's men and he's running down the street with like the silenced Uzi.
Yeah, that happens after they first stop Azul, thinking that he's the
That's
mariachi,
right.
which he is, and so they have him open up his case, and in his case it's the guitar, and so then Azul like crouches over to look over at his case to see what's happening, and then at that same time the mariachi is walking down the street from the opposite side
With his guitar case.
with his guitar, and Bigoton like looks at El Mariachi and he's like, "It's him!" And so they start chasing him, and then I think that's when he pops out his Uzi, which was a pretty badass scene. And he's like
I
running through
thought it looked
Yeah.
cool
yeah,
running
with his
down the
Uzi
street
just like
with the
over his
Uzi.
shoulder. Yeah,
I guess when they filmed that scene, they wrote up signs to tell like passerbys like, "Oh, filming in progress," but they wrote them in English.
Yeah.
So like nobody knew. So they just saw this guy running down the street with a fucking Uzi.
oh man,
That's good.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, this scene in particular was the scene that made me think about the high heels, and then after that, like every running scene, that's what I kept picturing in my head because it's so prominent, the sound of them clomping around the city.
So I think it's because everyone's wearing cowboy boots.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like
Cowboy
be
boots.
that loud in a busy ass street, you're able to hear all
true.
the cowboy boots.
That's true. But they
It was
do
just
cowboy
a
boots
funny-
to make that clap, clap, clap sound.
Yeah, that's true.
So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought the scene was dope. This is like when I pictured the movie, that's the scene I pictured and him running down the street with the Uzi.
Mhm.
Do they get into a gunfight here, or he just has the gun?
I think they do get into a gunfight. I think Mariachi kills like another couple of men.
I thought he just runs away and then he jumps. Oh, he does kill a couple more guys. You're right. And then he jumps in
Yeah.
the back of that pickup truck. No,
Yeah, his classic tactic of pickup truck jump, and then he dips out.
I mean,
That's how
that's
No,
a
it was
pretty
the
good-
wrong truck.
Yeah, it was the wrong
no,
truck.
not this one. In this one, it's the right truck. In the next time,
Oh,
that
you're
he
right.
tries
This
to do
one
it.
is the right truck. And then
Yeah.
he gets out. And then it
Yeah.
changes back to Azul. And he's talking to his man and he's like, "This fucking case is from some stupid mariachi. So they go get me my case." And then that's when we see where Moco does the thing that I guess he does it in the beginning of the movie, but I didn't catch it. I don't know if you guys caught it, where he uses Bigatone's face to like spark his match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And you can see Bigatone is not he's not cool with that. He doesn't like it.
yeah.
Who would like that?
I don't think nobody really liked Moco. I think you can tell that definitely.
Yeah,
And
they all thought he was a fucking asshole.
yeah, Moco's mean just to be mean altogether. But again, in the scene when it comes in, like he's just sitting on a bench, just like 1,000-yard stare. When Bigoton walks up to let him know that they weren't able to catch the mariachi. But he does say, "I know what the mariachi looks like. I've seen him. I could bring him back." But at no point in time does Moco like confirm what he looks like or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, you know what he looks like. You can go get him.
He trusts that he hired competent henchmen, dude. He's not a micromanager.
I guess I'm maybe all right. So let's look at it from his point of view then. he's assuming that there's only one mariachi in this whole fucking town.
Well, because he owns the whole town, so he's like, I would know if there was a mariachi playing somewhere.
Yeah. So I guess the off chance of there being two mariachis in one place is just like lightning striking twice in this situation.
Yeah, because we learn that after this scene, we kind of get some more like background into like Domino, right? And we learn that so Moco owned the first bar. That was Moco's place. And Domino's place was a gift from Moco. Like Moco is in love with Domino. So if those are the only two places of like entertainment, he should know. You would think, you would assume he would know like if there's a mariachi in town.
But Domino also threw the mariachi like an event, and it was popular. So there was a ton of people there. You would think that somebody there reported back to Moco like, "Oh, hey, I went to this party at Domino's Pad, and it was cracking. They had a mariachi. He was good." You would think that like somehow info just gets back because it's all technically run by Moco.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But even if they did do that, Moco would be like, okay, cool, there's a mariachi there, because he's not looking for a mariachi. He's looking, he knows Azul's not a mariachi. He just knows he's a guy that carries guns in a guitar case.
There just needs to be more specifics around this, bro.
It's
more
a lack
communication.
of communication.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That always boils down to.
Bigaton's kind of stupid too, though. Like they had Azul there, like dead to rights, with the fucking guitar in his guitar case. Like they were like, "Oh, it is him," and just because this other dude runs up, like, no, actually, it's this guy again. Never mind about that guy.
Because when he kneels down to check his guitar case, you're like, "Wait a minute! Like, why is he checking? He should know what's in there." Yeah, and then they immediately because Bigaton knows what the mariachi looks like. I think because he turns around and he sees him and he like clicks. He's like, no, that's the fucking guy who hit me. So it has to be him.
And technically the mariachi did murder like 4 people at this point in time.
That's true. That did happen.
Yeah.
And at this point, they should probably just kill both of them.
True. I mean, Moco was kind of setting his people up for failure too by not giving them the resources that they needed to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, all his resources just dudes, and then they all just keep getting wrecked.
Dudes with minimal details.
Yeah. Well, so getting back to Moco and Domino. So then we find out that that's how she got the bar. Moco gifted her a motorcycle because he calls and he's like, hey, he's literally calling for like a booty call. He's like, hey, why don't you come up here with your motorcycle? We can talk. Like, I miss you. And she's like, nah, I'm good. I can't today. I'm busy. And she's all staying at the mariachi because he's all in love with him. And she's like, she kind of, at this point, I think because she mentioned it to him, like, she was on the verge of becoming Moco's girl. She's like, all right, fuck it. I'll become his girl. And then she meets the mariachi and she's like, oh, I like this dude. And like they have like chemistry and stuff. So then she kind of drops that for him. And then she's like, to prove that she kind of loves him, like the next day, because he's all sad boy, like, oh man, like this isn't my guitar. Like I lost my guitar. Like how am I supposed to play? Like she gives him money. She's like, go buy a guitar. And he's like, no, I can't do this. And she's like, dude, I'm not telling you to get the best guitar. Like you work for me. Go get a guitar so you can play. Like we need your music. And he's like, all right, fine. And then he goes to get the guitar. And then that's when he runs into Bigaton again, right? And he jumps into the back of the yellow pickup truck, which is the wrong truck.
Yeah.
And I was thinking this too, because he jumps in there. I'm like, what a dumbass. I'm like, does this guy not, like, do they not look at their rearview mirror and like realize that there's a dude in the back of the truck? But they did, because they knock him the fuck out. And then they take him to Moco's place. And I like how Moco sees him. He's like, oh, it's the wrong guy. And Bigaton doesn't tell him.
Also, Moco, when he walks up to Bigaton, he has a match in his hand, ready to light another match. And so as soon as he sees the mariachi, he lights the match and he's like, that's not Azul. And then Bigaton doesn't even say anything. Like, this is the dude that killed the other 4 guys.
Yeah, he could have been like, well, this dude killed 4 of our dudes. But I think like, because he looks like he's gonna speak up, and then he strikes the match, and he's like, okay, fuck this dude. All right, yeah, okay, wrong guy. We'll drop him off somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you would think like those are Bigaton's men. You think like he would kind of feel bad that they got murdered, but I guess not.
Nope.
Did What'd you guys think of the yellow Chevrolet truck?
Dude, I
I,
thought that truck was sweet.
it reminded me of the Pussy Wagon a little bit.
Oh,
Kill
because of
Bill.
the
Oh,
color
from Kill
scheme.
Bill.
Yeah, just another like bright yellow truck, kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
It does. It is
Yeah.
super out of place. That's what I was thinking when I saw it. I was like, damn, is that a fucking bright yellow like 1955 Ford F1? Oh no, it's a Chevy.
It's a
I
Chevy.
was like, damn. I was like, that's a sweet ride. Like, where did they get that one
Yeah,
from?
that's what
It
probably
does
cost the most in the whole movie. That's
probably,
probably about $6,500 out of
but
the
knowing
$7,000 budget.
the way Rodriguez fucking filmed this, he probably like saw Loco had it, and he's like, hey, you want to be in a movie? Can you just drive
Yeah,
your truck and let a guy jump in the back?
Yeah.
So the mariachi gets like dropped off, right? He's like, all right, we got the wrong guy. And then Azul at the same time goes to Domino's spot to get his case. And then he don't they kind of like work together? He's like, come with me, you know where Moco's place is. Your mariachi's there. I'll help you get your mariachi back. You'll help me get my money. And
yeah,
we'll go our separate ways. And this is where I was just like, okay, like Azul's like actually not a bad dude. Like he is
Yeah.
like a criminal, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's like a bad person.
yeah,
He's like, look, we both can get something out of this. You're getting fucked over by Moco. I got fucked over by Moco. Like, let's work together. You know where he's at. I have the means to get you back your dude. Let's go do this. And she's like, all right, fine, cool, let's go. And even when they get there, he's like, hey, play along. Like, I'm not going to hurt you, but just like play along. You got to act like you're scared. And
yeah,
she's like,
Yeah.
okay. And then like they go, and then Moco, this is where Moco's like real psychoness comes out. And he starts like clowning like Azul, and he's like, "I'll kill the girl." And then she starts freaking out. She pulls like a Star Lord when he fights Thanos, or like because she opens her fucking mouth and she's like, "Where's the mariachi?" Moco's like, "What are you talking about, mariachi?" Like, "Oh, that was your dude." He's like, "Oh, fuck both of you." And he fucking kills Domino, and then Azul's like, "What the fuck?" Like he just shot this chick, and then he kills Azul, and then that scene was crazy. So I
yeah,
was like, oh damn, Moco's a fucking psychopath. He went from like I love this chick to like, oh, I can't have you, no one can have you real quick.
Yeah. I think this is where you can really tell that he's the actual villain, like a real villain. And he's always down to just murder everybody at any point in time. I think the scene in the beginning when Domino and Azul finally meet each other, when Azul orders a beer, she automatically serves him a botella instead of serving it in like an actual like cup. And so I think that's where Azul realized that Domino was like actually really down and they were going to work together. I thought this was going to end different, and it kind of seemed like it did, but yeah, man, Moco's a villain for sure.
yeah. He's very possessive. Definitely one of those like you said, just if I can't have them, no one can. I was a little taken back by the fact that he just blasted Domino.
I didn't see that coming.
I wasn't expecting that. And kind of touching back on it, like this scene showing where Azul was as far as like where his head was at, and what his ultimate goal was. I think I think I liked Azul a little bit more than the Mariachi.
No, yeah, it definitely seemed like the movie was like about Azul as like the main like protagonist, where the mariachi was just kind of like wrong place at the wrong time
Yeah,
type of guy. Like he's like this hopeless romantic. Azul was the one that was pushing the story forward because he was the one that was actively doing shit in order to like get to an end goal, which was Moco. Whereas the mariachi just kind of got caught in the middle of it. And he doesn't become an active participant until after he learns, right after this, that Domino got taken back to Moco's place. And
yeah,
he's like, oh shit. And he grabs the motorcycle and like rides out to go get her. But up until that point, he's kind of just like, he's not like things are happening to him. He's not like actively making things happen.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
he's reactionary as opposed to progressive. I don't know. He's just reacting to the situation rather than pushing the situation forward.
Yeah, email us if you know the word that we're looking for.
What's our new email?
Tell us.
Good.
cldpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And well, like how many so Moco lives in a ranch, and I just have to say this. What was up with that janky ass like back entrance fucking piece of sheet metal? Like you would think this guy has like a nicer pad. Like his fence was just sheet metal. That's all it was. It was like that wobbly thin metal, like for like a, I don't know, what is he? It's like drug lord. Is he a drug lord? Or
yeah, he's a drug lord. He's a narco. They say it, and he says it. Domino says it at one point.
You would think he would have a much nicer pad with like guards and shit. But it's just
he had a good amount of guards. Remember, like when Azul shows up, it's him and like 10 other dudes. Well, like 3 inside. Adults and like 6 children.
Yeah,
because some of those guards are real young.
I know, just like geographically, a lot of these ranches only have like one road going up to them. You don't think the Mariachi and like Azul and Domino might have crossed paths as they were kind of like passing each other? Because one was leaving and the other 2 were coming, right?
Well, I think he showed up later.
Well, I forget, where did they drop the Mariachi off? Did they drop him off back in town? Or they dropped him off back in town.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe it was later. It had to have been, because he doesn't get there too far after she's killed.
Well, the shots are already over, and I think Moco was already walking back, or the action had already ended, and so when Mariachi shows up, it's after this whole event has happened.
Oh yeah, that's true. I like how when he shows up, and then Moco's like, "Oh, you're that fucking mariachi," and then he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna take away what you love." And he like shoots his hand.
Yeah.
And that prosthetic that he used, his hand like splits in half. I was like, "Oh shit, that looked fucking brutal."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then like a good Robert Rodriguez style, like special violence. Effect.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one. I thought that was pretty cool. And I like how when he grabs the gun to shoot Moco, like all of Moco's men, like there's so many of them. Like they could have easily just like lit him up. They all just like jump out of the way and just let the mariachi like kill Moco.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty cool. And I guess Moco's reaction to him falling there was legitimate because the
squib?
Yeah, the squib like kind of malfunctioned. So it blew up too hard and like it hurt his chest.
Oh, damn.
So that's like him crumbling in pain was like actually him crumbling in pain.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
I like that after like everybody just watches this whole thing, and after Bigoton and the whole crew just like all right, the beef is done.
Yeah, they're like, all right, fuck it, this is over. Like, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mariachi, I like how he gets Azul's case. He has the motorcycle and he has the dog. And he just rides off into the sunset. And you're like, oh shit, now what's gonna happen? And, like,
origin
his hands,
story.
like, duct taped and like this, he has like this crazy glove on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That was the end of the movie. He rides off as like I guess they class as like a cowboy rides off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's an epic send off.
It was a pretty cool send off. It was a cool little origin story.
Yeah.
I guess this movie's classified as like a neo-Western. Did you guys get like Western vibes from it?
Yeah. In different pieces. More of like a satire Western.
I mean, the saloon itself.
I don't know if it was a satire. I just think it just had like the little like directorial quirkiness that Rodriguez likes to bring into it. But I don't know if he was being like satirical per se.
Yeah, no, I think he was serious about this movie.
I think
like you could be funny and without being satirical.
I guess I just took it as more satirical But I think two things could be right at the same time. So potentially he was really serious, but he was also like
Being funny.
he added some like comedy
Oh,
parts in it as well
definitely.
too. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what
Did
he
you
does,
guys-
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of like his style.
Yeah.
I did not expect this movie. Like I said, I was like, I'm way more familiar with the sequels to be as grounded as it was in comparison. Because those other movies are like super bombastic.
Yeah.
Like he turns it up to 11 with the action. Like no one reloads. Well, I mean, people do reload, but like it's like unlimited ammo. Like the shootouts are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should
think
watch
that's-
Desperado, Twan. You'd like Desperado. Desperado's a good time.
Yeah,
think
I
that's-
plan on checking out the trilogy now after seeing this one.
That's why I say I feel like it's a satire because as it progresses, it just gets more and more crazy. And I think at the very end, like it feels like a satire play on like a Western, movie where there's just over the top action, and some of the things are like really goofy and silly for just the reasoning of being kind of goofy and silly. So I think like some of the work in this is kind of like the beginning stages of it, like the three women just to hand him the phone, or
I think
like the
it tries
bar
to do-
scenes.
I think it tries to do the because Tarantino does this too, where like making like a high class, like paying homage to like those B movies of like the 70s and 80s that they grew up with,
Mhm.
but doing it with like, well, in the sequels you see it more than this one, but like with like a $25 million budget and like
Yeah.
getting to do that. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna make like this action flick, but we're also gonna do this like goofiness because this is what we really like to see in movies type of deal.
Yeah.
I think this is like the beginnings of that. And I thought the way he was able to work it in was pretty good because I guess when they filmed, I guess we'll get into our interesting facts. When they filmed the movie, it was filmed as a silent film and they added all those sound afterwards. So
Yeah.
like hearing some of the funny sound effects, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So like he just decided like, all right, now we're gonna put this stupid little sound effect in during this scene when he's like playing the keyboard or whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought the editing was interesting. But was there any cool stuff you guys came across? This movie I thought was had like a treasure trove of like interesting tidbits on how they got certain scenes to work.
Yeah, I did see that. I guess during some of the scenes, Robert Rodriguez used a wheelchair to film some of the shots.
Yeah, because they didn't have the moving like trolley thing, so
Yeah.
they would just push him on a wheelchair.
Hey, that's resourceful.
And then I remember, Matt, I know you mentioned how you thought some of the scenes like felt like they were like in slow-mo compared to his other ones. So I
Mhm.
guess what he would do is he would film like a shot, like someone shooting from multiple angles, but instead of to make it look like there was multiple cameras, but it was just him running around the person shooting in order to get that effect. And then
Yeah.
he would edit it in post. So I think that's why it's all really slowed down because he like made it up to look like it was a multiple angle shot where it's really just one. It's just him moving constantly.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool because it looked like they got some pretty good like multi-angle shots, and it's just like, no, that was in multi-camera work. It was one guy just
It was
hustling.
Damn.
yeah.
And they used like real guns, like they borrowed guns from that police station.
Yeah, that was why the squibs didn't always work. It was like clogging up the gun. So that's why he would have to film the person shooting a single shot over and over from different angles with the same camera.
Yeah, I guess because like studio guns like are meant to shoot blanks, and so you could shoot it like as an assault rifle, but after one shot in a real gun with those blanks, it jams it. So they had to do the multi angles, and then he added in the gunfire afterwards.
Classic.
Interesting.
I thought it was cool, and I guess
Man.
him and Gallardo, the mariachi, are like childhood friends.
Nice.
So they did like a bunch of like when you do those. Remember Matt when we did that stupid like zombie movie in high school for
Mhm.
theater club?
Yeah.
I guess like him and Gallardo had been doing that since they were kids, and then
Nice.
they did their first movie together.
We should do that now. We should make a movie as adults.
Yeah,
Dude, that would be dope.
Pretty funny. If you like press Be Kind Rewind, those type of quality movies. Have you seen that movie with Jack Black and Most Def?
Yeah. Twan and I made a Blair Witch Project type movie, and
Hell
also
yeah.
a Lord of the Rings movie as well too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about the Lord of the Rings one.
I gotta find it. It's somewhere out in the world.
That's funny, dude. Oh my god. Oh, and I guess like the hotel owner and the bartender, I thought this was a smart move by Rodriguez. They were local like news journalists that were like shitting on them filming in the city.
Mhm.
So he gave them a role in the movie to kind of win them over.
Nice.
That's the one thing that like shocked me about this movie. This will kind of lead us into our reviews, but I thought the acting was pretty good for it just being a cast of people who have never acted in a movie before. Like
Yeah.
usually I feel like when you see like low budget movies or like indie flicks, there's like one or two people where you're like, oh, I recognize this person from like other movies, but they're not like A-list celebrities. They're just like usually side characters and they got like a starring role in this movie. So it actually has like an experienced actor in it, but this one had nobody. So
Yeah.
I thought most of them did a pretty good job. I thought Domino particularly did a really good job, and she never acts again.
Yeah, everyone did a really good job of doing what they needed to do in this movie. I think it all came together like so perfect. The way he wrote it, had everybody act in it, and all the action scenes, all that shit. Like it was really cool. It was an enjoyable ride.
Agreed.
Yeah, it was cool. And it wasn't a long watch either. It was a quick, hour 20?
Yeah, hour 20.
Yeah.
That's like a TV show finale these
Yeah.
days.
Oh, no shit, huh? Did you guys have any other interesting facts you guys wanted to share or anything about the movie that really stuck out?
I did see that the script was originally written in English and Gallardo translated the whole movie in Spanish.
That's cool.
Nice.
Peter Marquette, Moco, like he doesn't know Spanish. Like he couldn't figure it out. So he would get his lines and not know what the fuck he was saying.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
funny.
he had no idea
Oh,
what he was
shit.
saying. So he was just learning them on the spot.
Crazy. Is he actually just like a white guy? He's not a
Yeah.
he's not a light skinned Latino?
He's a white guy.
Oh,
Huh.
that I think in one of the scenes, Mariachi is talking to Domino, and I think it's where Moco calls Domino for like a late night booty call, and then she hangs up.
And he's
And
like boyfriend
and he's like
or gringo or
boyfriend
something.
or gringo, and she just like, I think it's alluded to. She says like gringo basically,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess that makes sense. That's kind of funny. He did have like a light accent when he was talking. Like he didn't roll his R's perfect. I guess that makes sense.
He wasn't the best at it.
Yeah,
And I guess Azul was studying to be a doctor at the time.
nice.
Damn.
Is he a
Imagine-
doctor now?
I don't know, but imagine
Oh.
that dude coming in to check you. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, if he was dressed like that, it would be like, what the fuck? But if
The
he came in
black-
his Dr. Whites, it'd be like,
black
oh, yeah,
vest
what's
over
up,
his
doc?
scrubs.
Oh, man. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I thought the actor that played Moco kind of reminded me of Tim Roth. It's like a Spanish Tim Roth.
Yeah, I could kind of see that.
I could see that. Yeah.
It's like a Robert Rodriguez's version.
Yeah, they both had the very similar
Like
style
facial
with the
structure?
slick back hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of pointy face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I guess the movie was shot in 14 days.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, it was quick. I guess because it was too expensive to reshoot. They would just everything was in one take, and if there was a blooper, they would just keep filming, just keep going. And he's like,
Nice.
we'll fix it in post. So it cost $7,000, like we said, which in today's cash is like a little over 15,000.
Damn, do you think we could make a movie with 15K?
I mean, he went to like film school, and none of us did.
Oh.
So I feel like we'd waste a lot of money, like just figuring out how to do the movie. Well, I guess they instead of getting like the real squibs, it was just blood in a condom.
Damn, resourceful, man. Hearing
No, yeah,
hearing all
dude.
these extra things about Robert Rodriguez is just making me like appreciate him even more. Because damn, 23 when this movie came out or when he made it, like fuck, 23. I was like
Dude,
losing my mind.
I was a maniac at 23.
I didn't know where I was half the time.
I mean, yeah, I know. No, for sure. I feel like this is kind of similar to was it Eraserhead? Where it's like I didn't really get it. And then when I like researched about it, I appreciated the movie more. Like I like this movie from start to finish, and then like reading all the stuff, like, oh, $7,000. This is how he made
Yeah,
all these things work. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like
yeah,
when you put it in that context, like he did a fucking stellar job.
yeah. He did. He did a fucking bang up job. It's crazy that our last two episodes have been directorial debuts.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That's true. Interesting. All right, should we get into our reviews?
Grades.
Oh,
Yeah. Do it.
All right. All right. Matt, why don't you start us off with the reviews? Because you have seen the movie before. So this is your how many what viewing was this? How many times would you roughly say you saw it?
Like my third viewing.
Okay, third viewing. So how does it hold up on the third watch?
I think like I said before, it definitely it felt a little clunky and slow, not as bright and vivid as I remember it as when I was watching it as a kid and I think later as like a teenager. But I still enjoyed the movie because it has like a good action, it has the good story, it's easy to follow with the characters. Uh, I graded this an A minus. Really like this film. I like that it's like filmed in location in Mexico, and I like just all of it all together. I think it's a really good start to Robert Rodriguez. I think this kickstarted his career and brought him up into everything else that we see now. And I think if you like Robert Rodriguez, this is definitely a watch. I'd recommend this to everybody.
So an A minus. It's funny that you say that. I keep forgetting. I should start like making a script and writing this down. But you're right where like most modern audiences are because Rotten Tomatoes has this movie at a 91%, which would be an A minus, and then IMDb has it at a 6.8. So I think IMDb's most of their ratings come from just the audience, whereas Rotten Tomato actually I think aggregates a bunch of like professional film critics as long with but that's why they have the tomato meter and the audience one or whatever. So 91%. So Matt, you're right where Rotten Tomatoes is. What about you, Twan? How do you feel about the movie? What's your final grade?
So I thought the movie was cool. I thought it was a fun ride. Like Soya was saying, it was an easy story to follow. Um, I'm personally I'm not too keen on foreign films just because I don't like reading the whole time because I find myself reading more than actually watching the movie. But there wasn't too much dialogue. It definitely feels like someone's first film. Um, with that being said, like again, after kind of reading up about it and learning all the other stuff about it, it just made it that much more cool. That didn't affect my grade at all because I don't want that to be a part of it. I just want to grade it as a whole. And I think as a whole, I have it as a B plus. I graded Eraserhead as a B minus. I think this one was definitely better. It was a more enjoyable movie. I think Eraserhead was kind of enjoyable in a different aspect, but this one was just a fun ride. I mean, it's a movie that you can pop on whenever you just want to watch a campy fucking action flick. It's an hour and 20. It's a quick watch. And if you enjoy Robert Rodriguez, which I do, yeah, it was cool. And this movie now definitely has me more interested in, I guess, the Mexico trilogy. So now I for sure want to watch those other two movies to kind of see where this story goes. But yeah, B plus overall good movie.
Nice. So I'm with you on this one. I do like foreign films. I forgot that this movie was in Spanish, and I guess I could have put it in our little interesting facts that I wanted to mention. So I guess the reason why it's in Spanish was that this movie was originally gonna be for straight to video Latin American market.
Uh-huh.
And I guess like when he pitched it to all these like distribution companies in Latin America, they're all like, nah, we don't want it. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna try pitching it to like a big company, and then Columbia Pictures picked it up. So that's why
Nice.
it ended up being like a US film. But it was originally not supposed to be a US film. So I'm guessing if he would have had it from the US right from the start, it probably would have been in English. Because Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico are in English. I mean, I guess it has some Spanglish, but yeah, like those are definitely built for like an American audience. But getting into the review, I really like this movie. I thought this movie was pretty cool. I'm right there with you, Twan. I give it a B plus. Part of it's a little unfair because I have seen the rest of the Mexico trilogy, and I do like Desperado more than this movie. And I feel like Desperado definitely does things. It recreates scenes from this movie and does it in like a more high octane way that I really enjoy. Even though critics think Desperado is a worse movie than this movie,
Hmm.
I was surprised, especially coming into this movie, seeing the other two first, how like not the main character, the mariachi, felt at times, and I really enjoyed that because that third character in Azul, was pretty cool, and I like the way it kind of sets up the rest of the trilogy. Once you watch the other two, you kind of understand. But the origin story was dope, and seeing how this like hopeless romantic guy kind of gets caught in like a turf war that unfortunately got him mangled and his girl killed, was pretty cool. So I give it a B plus. Definitely recommend it to people if you like action movies, you like goofy shoot 'em up type of movies, or you just want to see what someone like a master of their crafts can do with somebody as like creative as Robert Rodriguez can do with a shoestring budget,
Yeah.
and make like a feature film. Like you I've seen movies that cost 10 times the amount as this movie that I feel like aren't as nearly as good or as tight as this one is. So yeah, it's definitely a recommend. A B plus. I think this is the first action movie we've covered too. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this week as we covered Robert Rodriguez's El Mariachi. Make sure to tune in next week as we cover a modern horror classic, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. About to get into the 100 Acre Woods, people. It's going to get scary. All right. Well, I've been your host, The Dale, followed by my co-host, Mr. Saya.
Goodbye.
And Twan.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
See you guys next week. Bye.